Hello, and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Kinlami. Our focus is on the South today, but first, our top stories. A Federal Capital Territory High Court has adjourned to December the 10th for ruling on former Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello's bail application. The presiding judge, Justice Marian Aneni, has also ruled that Mr. Yahaya Bello and two other defendants are to be remanded in the EFCC custody. The former governor had earlier pleaded not guilty to the 6-count charge brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Mr. Bello, who is the first defendant, denied the allegation before Justice Aneni as they were read out to them. The long-awaited resumption of operations at the Port Harcourt Refinery has finally become a reality, marking another step in the country's efforts to revive its petroleum sector. Amid the celebrations marking the resumption of operations, citizens and stakeholders are raising questions about the potential impact of the plant on businesses and socio-economic well-being of the people.
After years of dormancy and missed deadlines, the old Port Harcourt Refinery has successfully begun oil processing. The loading gantry at the depot was a beehive of activity, with trucks moving in orderly succession for loading, signaling what the NNPCL describes as a new chapter for the nation's energy industry. Amid the celebration, the citizens and stakeholders have expressed concern about the consistency of operations and pricing, which is 75 naira higher than Dangote Refinery.
This is good. It's a welcome development. This is what we've been waiting for. Everybody is happy, you can see. But my talk this afternoon is that they shouldn't just come and flash this thing and go back, because it will be bad. It will be bad if they flash shots and go back, because Nigerians are expecting something to happen here.
For today, on the port of NNPC, the price still remains 1,045 naira. But the challenge we are having, and the GND has promised to do something about it as it concerns the selling rate of Dangote. Dangote is selling 970 naira per litre, while NNPC is still selling to us 1,045 naira. A difference of variation of 75 naira per litre. And you know, a businessman appreciates 1 kobo as a discount, so there's no business. So hence, the troop in and the rush and the high traffic that should be occasion arising from today is a bit less. But I think the going forward, NNPC will review its price going forward.
Pengerson is, however, optimistic that the production process will not be interrupted, at least not anytime soon, and commends efforts to revitalize the plant.
We have a brand new refinery. If you look at, I don't know, when we walked past the Area 5 plant, you agree with me that what you saw there is a brand new plant. All the rotating equipment, the DCS, most of the static equipment, the boiler, auxiliary boiler, they were all worked on, they were changed. All the internals were changed. And we believe that what we have for the next 4 years, the next turnaround cycle, we're not going to have any issue at all in terms of production.
For Ipman, the reopening of the Port Harcourt Refinery is anticipated to contribute to fuel price stabilization for the end users.
It's just the best thing that could happen to Nigerians. I mean, there is super competition now in the system, which is in favor of the entire Nigerians. When Dangote and NNPC are at loggerheads and they are competing, who enjoys the dividends? Of course, you and I. So I believe NNPC's, since the refinery has come on stream, Dangote is there on his own part. It will further push down price of products.
Despite these concerns, the federal government has lauded the development, describing it as a significant achievement under its energy reform agenda.
Staying in Rivers State, the federal government says it's working hard to mitigate the effect of climate change on agricultural practices in the country. This was made known in Port Harcourt, the state capital, during a workshop for practitioners put together by the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. Our correspondent, Charles Oporum, has this report.
Actually identify and optimize.
As part of efforts to promote sustainable agriculture in the country, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, in partnership with the federal government, is organizing this workshop in Port Harcourt for players in the agri space. Issues of climate change are on the front burner, and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture says they are concerned about it.
Generation of employment, income, and awareness to our rural farmers is being enhanced holistically. But one component that is dragging the much achievement of these objectives is the current climate change issue, the environmental issue. The environmental issue becomes so important, bearing in mind recent, that weather that can be predicted. Where you don't expect rainfall, you see rainfall in March, and where you expect rainfall, you see rainfall cessation.
The project, which is targeted at 9 states in the country, is valued at $90 million, and one of the partners explains the terms of reference.
When it comes to inclusion and, our role is basically to bring everybody together and ensure that the right people are in the right room. And I think whatever issues and the concerns that come up is important for policymakers to be aware of that. And I think everything that, we produce a report at the end of every training. And so it's fundamental that these kinds of concerns should be included in order to influence policymakers and decision makers.
Some of the participants from the different states share their thoughts on the project's importance.
We have impacted so much on the rural women, youth, and other people in the state. We are agri sector, and we know that climate change.
This particular training, in fact, imparts a lot to my project and what we do.
The IFAD federal government partnership has created a program called Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprise in the Niger Delta, which was yet to fully take off in Rivers and Akwa Ibom because of delayed funding from the NDDC. But it seems after the delays, the project is finally on track. Charles Oporum, Channels Television News.
The governor of Delta State, Sharif Obiriwori, has unveiled the Oshimili North Local Government Development Agenda Blueprint, asking other local government council chairmen to emulate this move. This drive is the sole initiative of the Oshimili North Local Government Chairman, with a plan which outlines specific goals such as constructing new roads, upgrading healthcare centers to provide advanced care, and introducing modern irrigation systems for farmers.
It's a historic moment for Oshimili North Local Government area, as stakeholders gather to witness the launch of the long-awaited master plan, a blueprint for the region's sustainable development. The master plan in a local dialect means come to the light, promising to transform the socio-economic landscape of the region, touching key sectors like infrastructure, education, healthcare, and agriculture.
Let us bring prosperity to every corner of Oshimili North. Universal health and education services. Access to quality healthcare and education is a right, not a privilege. With your support, we can transform this into a reality. We seek to partner to upgrade our healthcare infrastructure, enhance educational standards, and ensure that no child or family lacks these essential services.
Keynote speaker, President of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Mr. Niyi Yusuf, believes the council has the potential to achieve its agenda, but may need public-private partnership to bring it to fruition.
Effective participation, multi-actor partnerships, political pluralism, transparent and accountable processes, accountable institutions, an efficient and effective public sector, political legitimacy, responsiveness to the needs of the people.
Governor Sharif Obiriwori, represented by his deputy, urges the local government chairman to pursue the realization of the set agenda.
When we begin to recognize that we need new blood, we need to put the younger generation into the council, we begin to see a different approach. We hereby unveil.
The official unveiling of the master plan document by the local government chairman and other dignitaries follows suit.
The blueprints, otherwise known as the Putify, more agenda, the development plan of Oshimili North Local Government Council.
The unveiling of the Putify
agenda is one that I must commend. And I know that by unveiling this agenda, it means that there is a whole lot to do for our people.
Focus now shifts to implementation as residents and stakeholders remain hopeful that this ambitious blueprint will pave the way for a brighter future.
In neighboring Edo State, the governor, Monday Okpebholo, has described the recent commissioning of the Stella Obasanjo Hospital in Benin City, the state capital, by the former governor, Godwin Obaseki, as a scam. He said construction at the facility is still ongoing and equipment yet to be procured by the last administration before it was hurriedly commissioned as a completed project. The governor pledged to immediately correct the structural deficits at the hospital in order to reposition it to serve the people better.
No, nothing is done here. They just paint the building and put AC so that people can think, oh, this building is completed. It's not completed. This is a sham. For me, it's not acceptable at all. Construction is ongoing. Obaseki and his PDP government commissioned it. It's unfair.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Edo State has accused Governor Okpebholo of embarking on a flyover project without recourse to the Procurement Act. The chairman of the Edo PDP Caretaker Committee, who stated this during a media briefing in Benin City, also alleged that the governor purchased vehicles worth about 5 billion naira without following due process, amongst other allegations.
The flyover is nothing but a white elephant project to reward godfathers for their role in subverting the will of Edo people at the just concluded governorship election. And we demand that the government makes public the procurement procedure for this project, stating the cost of the project and timeline, how the contractor was selected, and whether the process complies with the state's Public Procurement Act, among other details relating to the project. You are also aware that this administration is dismantling all the levels of government and governance that they inherited. And so, we are not surprised that they consider the State Procurement Act a hindrance that must be dismantled. Okpebholo has procured over 5 billion naira worth of vehicles without proper procurement process. So much so that the Permanent Secretary in the Governor's Office is threatening civil servants in central administration for refusing to accept vehicles due to improper documentation, while desperately looking for ways to pass entries for over 2 billion naira of the inauguration cost.
Coming up on the program, the Bayelsa State government explores partnership to boost its agricultural agenda. We'll give you details of that and other stories. Join us again. Welcome back. The Bayelsa State government has reiterated its determination to collaborate with investors to transform the state into an agricultural hub. The Deputy Governor, Lawrence Ewujakpo, made this known during a meeting at the Government House in Yenagoa with Regional Agricultural Councillor for Togo, Benin Republic, Ghana, and Nigeria at the French Embassy. Dr. Darak stated that her team were in Bayelsa State to explore potential areas of partnership with the government in developing the agricultural sector and enhancing technical education.
What are the potentials? What are the different things we can bring back home on agriculture, but not only agribusiness, but not only to work together in order to build together a future for the agri sector and agribusiness sector in Bayelsa. That's why I'm here with agribusiness entrepreneurs, because I think it's very important to show already that, okay, I represent the French government, but actually the future of the development of the agriculture and agribusiness is with the private sector.
One thing that this government has taken very seriously is the issue of agriculture. And that is why, as the compounder mentioned, from our assured agenda, the first letter A symbolizes agriculture. We believe that with agriculture, we are going to do well and do more and do better for ourselves. After us, it was the agricultural revolution that led to the industrial revolution. And so agriculture is the hamburger, is the fertilizer or the manure that germinates industrialization. But when you have excess output, you look for how to process. And when you start processing, you now look for how to export. And so we are very, 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 very ready. Our intention here is to make Bayelsa the hub of about 4 products. One, rice, for which we have competitive advantage. Here in Bayelsa, you can plant rice 3 times in the year. The other one is fishery, because we are just by the coast, like you said. The other one is plantain. We have it in abundance. And the last one is cassava.
Christmas is already in the air. No one is more aware of this than the Akwa Ibom state government, which has begun the countdown to its Yuletide festival. Preparations are in top gear to ensure that residents and visitors have a memorable experience at the Christmas village in Uyo, the state capital. This year's edition of the festival promises to be unique, according to the organizers, with several new additions to the traditional display of the rich culture from all parts of Akwa Ibom State.
The Akwa Ibom Christmas Festival is an initiative of the state government to create and provide an avenue for recreation and relaxation at the end of every year. The Christmas village, located at the popular Unity Park along Udoma Avenue in the heart of Uyo, is a beehive of activities for 32 days, entertaining residents and tourists with a blend of cultural extravaganza in Akwa Ibom State from December 1st to January 1st, 2025. From the riverine coastal communities of Eastern Obolo and Oro Nation to the rolling hills of Itu and Ibiono, and to the hinterlands of Ini and Obot Akara, a variety of cultural displays will thrill the people living behind a lingering memory of another December to remember. The 2024 edition kicks off in a few days as organizers and vendors of consumables are putting finishing touches to their preparations.
The market is very good, very necessary, very fine, very okay. Moreover, when we come over here, we are not selling the same price we normally sell in our shop. Here you can just sell just like 1,200. Moreover, they should be 1,000. Moreover, plus the money for the kiosk. So the business here is fine. Both the speaker, they're all for the people to enjoy themselves, to keep themselves upcoming. So it's very nice. It's very okay for someone to be there.
Akwa Ibom State is blessed with abundant tourism potentials, which stands the state out as one of the best tourist destinations in the country. Residents and business owners are looking forward to a rewarding experience at the month-long event.
So the expectation is so high, considering the fact that last year's own was so perfect. Why? Because of the cultural display. A lot of people came all over other states to watch the cultural display, and it was so perfect. So I expect this year's own to be more higher than that of last year, which, as you can see around, this year's own is of different kind because of the cultural background. It wasn't like this. The representation of culture is just so amazing.
With such in-depth and painstaking preparations, the 2024 edition of Akwa Ibom Christmas Festival at the Christmas Village in Uyo promises to be a rewarding experience.
Joining us to discuss this is the Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Charles Udo. A pleasure having you with us on the program.
It's really my delight to join you. I was looking at the visuals, I was smiling to myself. That is Akwa Ibom.
Okay, now that's a good way to start. So can you tell us more? What should we expect from the Akwa Ibom State annual Christmas festival this year?
I mean, it's going to be a bumper package. Like you know, it's going to be 24 hours of a mixed grill of culture, a mixed grill of entrepreneurial excellence, a mixed grill of contemporary entertainment, running 24 hours for 32 days. We're going to have talents on display. We're going to have the rich culture of Akwa Ibom on display. We're going to have our art and craft on display. We're going to have the delicious meals of Akwa Ibom on display. And then, of course, to crown it all, each of the 31 local government areas in Akwa Ibom State will take turns to showcase what is unique about them in terms of art, in terms of culture, in terms of their delicacy, in terms of the way they look and feel. That's unprecedented. And then, of course, on top of that, we are also bringing in the contemporary entertainment part of it. Now, to a lot of people, this event speaks entertainment, but we also look at the entrepreneurial value of it. Because our boss, our governor, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Mono, came from an entrepreneurial background and fused into Christmas Unplugged, which is the Christmas event, is an entrepreneurial part where 200 kiosks are being purchased and procured by micro and small-scale entrepreneurs. And then government provides them electricity for 24 hours for 32 days. Government provides them security for 24 hours for 32 days. Same with environmental cleaning services. Same with entertainment. Same with marketing to drive their sales. That is one of the governor's ways of honing the skills of micro and small-scale entrepreneurs in Akwa Ibom State in an entertaining manner. Now, also, sandwiched between all that is the Guinness Book of Record event, which comes up on the 13th, the Ibom Christmas Carols Festival, which has been on. This is the 17th edition. And so, we are going to have an event where everybody in Akwa Ibom has something in it. There will be days for lawyers to drop their weight. There will be days for the service to also join the fray. Of course, we also having a handshake across our borders. Because we are very hospitable, we are also providing avenues for our brothers who are from the other climes, our Yoruba brothers, our Arewa brothers, our Igbo brothers, our Niger Delta brothers, to also come and join in the celebration with us. This year, we are bringing top-rated artists to perform. Timaya will be there, Nansboy will be there, Fioki will be there. Now, all that fused into our local artists, from Ipaudo to Mr. Manam to David Cruz, when those are top-rated artists who will perform in the middle of the year. God.
So much to take in and so much to expect during the festival. So let's go back in time. How successful has it been over the time?
Oh, clearly. Yes, last year, I can't say, forgive me if I'm being extravagant with my words. Last year, we held the World's Festival for 32 days. Akwa Ibom was the top of the global space on the internet. Now, on top of that, we had an audition for 600 plus artists. We had a footfall of over 1.5 million people coming in and out of that arena over a 32-day period. Now, that is huge when you understand the economic value of that. On top of that, it means that our airline, the state-owned airline, Ibom Air, had ferried more people. If you look at the statistics of Ibom Air during the same period last year, you could see that the airline had made brisk business in terms of passengers inflow. And then, of course, look at the hotels, major hotels. You look at their footfall, their inflow. You could see the impact. Now, to also indicate how successful last year was. At this time, Ibom Air has increased its flight from having 2 flights a day in and out of Akwa Ibom. Now, this year, Ibom Air is having 3 flights in and out of the state. And all those flights are almost fully booked. Now, the state-owned hotels, the 2 of them that are also under my supervision, Ibom Hotels and Golf Resort, and 4 Points by Sheraton. Those 2 hotels are fully sold out at the end of the year. You won't find any room there. Now, those are clear indicators that what we did and what we've been doing is successful. And then, of course, also helping to jumpstart the local economy. What this means is that the airlines have more business. The taxi driver has more business. The hotels have more business. Even the mama put seller has more business. And then of all the young ones, entertainers also have more business. Last year, directly from my desk alone, from my desk, outside the staff of the ministry, now we created employment of over 721 just within my desk alone. So you can have it, look at the multiplier effect. Each of the 200 entrepreneurs, each of the businesses that supported us, each of the entities that partnered with us, each of the entities that came to do one thing or the other. And then you can see the impact. Okay, Mr. Charles Udo, Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Akwa Ibom State, telling us about the annual Christmas festival. A pleasure sharing your thoughts with us on the program. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's the program for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.